Starlight's Sarah Palin, and they make this clear right off when they introduce the character. Her initial workout scene has Hart's Barracuda playing, and that song was used as theme music for Palin's entrance at the Republican convention in 2008. The Republicans kept using it until Hart found out and threatened them with a lawsuit. The scenes where she interviews for the Seven establish her past as a beauty queen, which is something Palin and she had in common. It also shows her being questioned in various settings and even hooked up to a polygraph machine to symbolize the intense vetting that vice presidential candidates are supposed to get, which is kind of ironic since Palin was poorly vetted and, as it turned out, totally out of her depths.
And the judges just chuckled, like it was cute. Since when did hopeful and naive become the same thing?
McCain did pick Palin, and although he'd regret it later, it gave his campaign a huge boost, and Palin became a big star in the Republican Party almost instantly. But there were compromises. As vice president, she had to go along with McCain's agenda, even though it didn't really agree with her own. And this is why you can see her in the early episodes being blatantly used by Huey Campbell. Huey's heart still lies elsewhere. He's basically just trying to get revenge for what happened to his real vice presidential pick, Senator Joe Lieberman.
Robin!
Then there was the Closegate scandal. The RNC spent a whole lot of money buying her high-fashion outfits, and was attacked for trying to make her over into a Republican elite. People started calling her Caribou Barbie. This caused her much embarrassment, and she eventually announced that she was going back to her old outfits.
Speaking of values, America's super sweetheart Starlight returned to her old costume recently, bringing wholesome American values back to the forefront of her public persona.
Palin became a potential presidential candidate herself in 2012, but finally decided not to run. She did, however, support and endorse other Republicans, including Ted Cruz. This is shown when Starlight made co-captain of the Seven, and works to get Supersonic into the group. And if you're wondering why the hell Ted Cruz ended up getting cast as the leader of a boy band named Super Sweet, well, it's because of a strange internet rumor that'd been going around a few years ago that Ted Cruz was actually Michael Sweet, the lead singer of the Christian rock band Stryper. Ted Cruz can also be identified by his poor knowledge of Spanish.
Bienvenidos, muchacho.
Yeah, I don't really speak Spanish, sir.
Trump actually is a fan of Taco Bells, and he just loves Hispanics, as you can see. I've got to admit, one thing I'm really not clear on is why Starlight turns against Homelander, whereas Sarah Palin has never turned against Donald Trump. But if you've got an opinion, I certainly would be glad to hear it. This is one of a series of videos about the identities of various characters in The Boys.